guys. So today I'm going to be doing a February wrap-up video. And when I started this book channel, well, okay, let me back up. When I first discovered like the book community, I guess, I don't know what it's called, like all the people that do like book calls and like booktube or something. I'm not quite sure yet. I'm still new to this. I instantly fell in love and was like, I want to make these kinds of videos because I love reading and I love to talk about books and I love to tell people how I thought about books, what books are about, what books they should definitely read, and all that kind of stuff. So at first I was like, well, what kind of videos can I do? I mean, I can do book hauls and I can do book reviews and that's about it. But after I started watching more and more people's videos about books, I saw like wrap-ups and then TBRs, and at first I was like, what the heck is a TBR? And finally I realized it's to be read. And so I wasn't sure I was going to do that because I feel like I'm kind of copying, but that's what everyone else does. And I really enjoy watching people's wrap-up videos to see what they read and how many books they read and what they're going to read the next month. And so I decided I am going to do that because it's an exciting video. So the first thing I did to get prepared is I started making a list of all the books that I have read in like 2014, and then I just do January, and those are the books I read. February, those are the books I read. So one, I can see what books I read that month and how many books I read that month. And also I want to see how many books I can read in a year. And I'm not gonna really set a goal, I don't think, because I don't know if I'm going to be able to make that goal. I just want to see how many I can read, and then maybe next year I'll make a goal. Because right now I have no idea how many books I read in a year, and I just need to kind of get a basis before I can set goals. Although I would like to read at least 50 at least. And the way I'm going, I've read 4 books in January and 3.5 books in February so far. So if I keep that going, like the 4 books, I'll read at least 60, I would think. Not 60. What's 4 times 12? 48. Which means I'm going to have to read an extra book in 2 months. But I think I can handle that. So anyways, I have read 3.5 books in February. I did not end up finishing the last one yet. I'm kind of sad, but anyways, I've been writing them down and then what day I start them and what day I finish them, just because I feel like that's kind of interesting to see how long it took me to read each book. And so, yeah, I guess I'll start with the first book. The first book I read this month was Nicholas Sparks' The Longest Ride. And just to be fun, I started this on February 2nd and I finished it on February 5th. And so 3 days, that's pretty exciting for me. And I'll just give like a little small synopsis. This is about a girl. Okay, there's 3 different points of view. There's this old man and he is in a car crash and he's just reminiscing about his past with his wife. And then one part is a college age girl who meets a guy at a rodeo, and then the other part is the guy that is at the rodeo, and it's just kind of their little love story. So it was really good. I really enjoyed this book, and it took I feel like he hasn't had a book out in a while, so I was excited to have his book. Okay, and then the second book that I read was Jodi Picoult's The Storyteller, and I started it on February 5th and ended it on February 9th, so 4 days. And I just looked at this book like a few minutes ago and was like, The Storyteller, did I read that yet? I couldn't remember, but then I read literally like 5 words into the little description. I was like, oh my gosh, that was a great book. Yes, I did read it. So it's about this girl who is a baker, and she befriends this old guy, and he tells her that he was a Nazi and he wants her to kill him because he is ashamed of what he did. And so she calls like the government that deals with that. I can't remember what it was called. What is it called? The Department of something. I don't know. But so she calls him and is like, I just like found this Nazi guy. Well, I just met this Nazi guy. And so they have to investigate him to see if he really was who he says he is, so that they can arrest him and send him back to Germany. And this girl that meets him has a grandmother that went through the camps, and so they try to get her to see if they can figure out if it's him or not. And that's all I can say without giving away the ending, but it is good. It is good, and you should definitely read this book. Then the third book I read is called Shattered Bones by Cindy Band and Julie Melier. Looks like that. And this only took me like a day to read, a day and a half or something. I started on the 9th and ended on the 10th. So, and I don't usually read books like these, but I have a ton of them. I recently started buying a bunch of these like mystery ones, and I just wanted to kind of shake it up because in my love story-ish, so that's why I decided to read this one. And this one was really good too. It's based on a true story about a girl whose mom dies, and she believes it is the dad that killed the mom. And so it's about her growing up thinking that her dad killed her mom and trying to work with the detectives to figure out if he really did or not. And so it's actually quite a good story. So I recommend that one too. If you're into like mystery-ish or I don't know, like books like that, then it's pretty good. Then the last book, which is the book I have not quite finished yet, is The Book Thief by Markus Zusak. And this is the second time I'm reading this book, and it is just as good as the first time. I've just kind of hit a reading slump, and I just haven't felt like reading. And I really wanted to finish this before the end of February, but the end of February just kind of snuck up on me, and so, yeah. I'm at least halfway. I would say I'm about 3/4 of the way, like in there. I don't know. But this is an amazing book, and I talked about it a little bit in my book haul when I bought it, but I'll just say it is during World War II, and the narrator, this is like awesome, is Death. And so you're getting the story from Death's point of view, and it's telling you all about this girl named Liesl, her life, and how her mom pretty much gave her up, and now she's in like, I don't know if you'd call it a foster home. It's just like with a mom and dad. And so it's kind of about her life, and she is the book thief. It's about her like stealing she's only stolen a couple books, but it's sort of just about her and stealing books and everything about her life, I guess. I don't know. But it was just made into a movie, so I wanted to reread the book before I watched the movie, even though the movie came out a while ago. It just took me that long because I didn't want to order it offline because then I'd have to pay for shipping, and so I was waiting to find it in stores, and finally I found it at Target. So yeah. Anyways, this is a super good book. It was literally like one of the like only 3 books I ever liked reading in high school English that we were made to read. So highly recommend this book. And so those are the 4 books I read in February, and look out for my next video, which will be my March TBRs. Thanks for watching.